wisdom,
prudentia,
justice,
justitia,
temperance,
temperantia,
courage.
fortitudo.
Applying ancient philosophy to modern life, this is the Sunday Stoic.
Welcome to the Sunday Stoic Podcast. This is Steve coming to you from my lunch break in Conway, Arkansas. This is sort of a Porchcast, but it's more of a lunch break episode. Well, episode 200 comes out this Sunday. I've had 3 or 4 people send in some audio clips. If you want to have your voice heard, a shout out from whatever part of the world you're listening from, you don't even have to congratulate me or anything. You can just say where you're listening from, or if you want to say what the podcast has meant to you, of course I'd be touched by that, but I'm not going to force an inauthentic praise. But I'd love to hear from you. Please send that in by Saturday. Saturday, October the 10th, right? Let me make sure that's right. Yeah. Also, be aware that Stoicon is coming up around the 17th or 18th of October. So if you're interested in Stoicon, check that out. The reason I wanted to put this podcast out was, 1, to see if anyone else wanted to have a shout out on the podcast, and 2, one listener had an idea that I thought was good, and I wanted to float it past all you loyal listeners out there. You know, I'm thinking of stepping out away from the microphone. I'm still torn as to whether to say goodbye or maybe I'll be back, because I like podcasting. I do. I just want to work on being a better Stoic. But if there was, 3 or 4 people who are interested in co-hosting, in that, like, you would be in charge one week and then the next person, for example, would be in charge for content for the next week. There was 3 or 4 people who wanted to contribute to the Stoic community by co-hosting the podcast, then that would be great. Now, what I mean by co-hosting is, in my mind, it would be you're in charge for that week. However, if 2 people wanted to literally co-host, like 2 people on the podcast at once, that's fine. I don't have the ability to do that with my slow internet and things, but if you do, that's fine too. So if you are at all interested in being a co-host and keeping the show going, taking the burden off any one person, then email me, sundaystoic@gmail.com. And what I would prefer is, rather than you just saying you're interested, I would like to hear your first episode. So in doing an episode, if you do readings, here's the only major rule I have. If you do readings, make sure they're in the public domain. So don't read from Ryan Holiday's book or a recent publication from Donald Robertson's translation of the Meditations or something. That would be some copyright infringement. There would be copyright infringement issues there. But if you go back to the ancients, like from was it Wikisource, I think, has like Seneca on there, and you can find translations from the 1800s or early 1900s of Marcus Aurelius or Epictetus. Those are fine. All right, so there's my idea. If you want to see the show keep going, we could diversify the portfolio by having a couple of hosts. So if interested, shoot me an email, sundaystoic@gmail.com. Meanwhile, once again, get ready for Stoicon. I have interviews coming out soon with Kai Whiting, as well as with Peter Stenkovitz. Kai's going to talk about eating like a sage, and Peter is going to talk about Stoicism and creativity. And those will be on video form on YouTube, as well as audio form. And then my plan is to have another episode after that where I kind of step away. My final episode for now. At least until 2021, perhaps forever. But if I see some interest out there from others, I will keep going, but at least I won't have to come up with content every week. That's the idea. Anyway, let me know what you think. sundaystoic@gmail.com. That's all I have. I'm going to eat my beans and rice now. Seize the day. Carpe diem.